Control a bit of music at some point. Probably it. Maybe throw a few of those around. Okay. Some pens. Sorry guys, we just had a class before us, so getting sorted. Right. Okay, we're into it. Ready to go. Is this thing working? Yes, it is. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Is that working? Yes, sir. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Week 3. So, how you all feeling? Good. Thumbs up. Yeah, nice, nice. Okay, well, we need to pick up the pace then. Tire people out. All right. What we'll do, we'll just have a little quick bit of a recap, and then we'll be getting into some of the content as we normally do. Rightio. Okay, so just a reminder about what's happening this week. So today's session will be the last from me, if you like, for a couple of weeks. Good. So we got James Carr, who's going to help us out with value propositions tomorrow. All right. So not Thursday, but we're coming back again tomorrow for another heavy session. So that'll be pretty full on. You'll be crafting some value propositions. All right. But today we'll be crafting, putting some thinking and starting to craft out journey map and also customer persona. All right. And then just a reminder that all founders in person for the industry day next week. All right, which is at PwC. I'll put up there into that lesson on the Mighty Network. So I've put in there the schedule for the day, so you can kind of get a sense of how things are going to operate. All right, and I just want to draw attention to Thursday next week. What we're looking to do is, I think it'll be a really great opportunity for us to have a bit of a catch-up session, bit of a catch our breath and reflection from everything that we've learnt today. And so a key thing in that will be coming back and just with more clarity, hopefully, around your assumptions, but also continuing on with that work that you're doing around customer engagement and understanding that problem, but having some real clarity around, the journey, what you think the value proposition is, but those key assumptions that we then want to take into and start testing. All right. So I've had a bit of a look in Miro. Great to see many of us using it. I'd recommend the ones that are perhaps not. If there's any reason that if you need any additional help, come forward, okay? Because what we're going to need to do is I need to be able to dive into that so that we can help you when we're looking to build out what are we going to be testing, okay? Kind of make sense? So the more you engage with that, the more you build that out, particularly around those assumptions, that'll help us when we get to the testing phases. All right. So, again, more of the understanding. We're still here as far as the overall model goes. That's that. Okay. Anybody like to share around the? Yes. Industry Day. Yep. So Industry Day is we're going to have. It's a chance for all of us to get together, right? And we're going to have some founder speakers. So you'll be learning from some founders who have been successful in the smart cities kind of sector. Okay, so you'll be hearing from real world war stories. And then we'll be doing speed mentoring. So that'll be over just over an hour. So there'll be 6 10-minute sessions where you as the founder will be able to have 6 different mentors, be able to engage with them, share your value proposition that you're going to be crafting on Wednesday, value propositions, share your idea about your business and the work you've been doing now, raise any questions, ask for any connections, any advice, 6 10-minute slots. It's going to be pretty rapid fire. In the middle of that, there will be 10 minutes just to have a quick sense check and, hey, am I asking the right question, or did I just capture your thinking? And then after that is the other key piece is we'll be having some industry speakers come in and give their perspective, so different stakeholders. Again, slightly different from the founders, more on that kind of overarching industry level, although there will be a little bit of commonality there. And then we have networking. So again, it'll be your opportunity to go back, meet any mentors that you want to meet that perhaps you didn't in the 6, because should be 17 mentors, and also a chance to just decompress from what will be a fairly busy day. Yeah. Check online. I think it's 12:30. Could be 12 o'clock for the founders. 12 or 12:30. Can't remember. Just jump in there, but it'll go through to 6. All right.
That's been mentoring.
Yes.
So they come in knowing about your product and you inform them.
Yes. However, we are, as we speak, putting together a wee booklet that we will try and email them beforehand and give them a copy on the day. So for 2 purposes, one is a little bit of your bio that you've already given us, and a photo that we took on launch day, so they know who's what, and then they can also look to seek you out as well, because some of them will be quite active in that space as well. So yes, effectively treat them like they're a potential influential customer, and share your vision, share your value proposition, and dive in and seeking out any advice or connections that they may be able to help with. All good? Cool. Any other questions at the moment? Right. Okay, 2 activities: customer persona and journey mapping. So customer persona, did we watch this video? Yes. Couple of heads. Great. Excellent. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. Do you find it useful?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Yep. Good. Covering the key points. I'm going to move on from that. Okay, we sort of touched on this a little bit the other day. So here's a version of a customer persona, all right? So we're talking less about the demographic stuff, more about the psychographics, the experiences, perhaps a key quote that really jumped out. And so what we're looking to do is capture a fictional representation of who you believe is your target market, and think even narrower potentially of who you think might be your early adopter. Okay, But if you can't get there, then okay, that's cool, your target market. So your solution might be available for everybody, and lots of different people may end up engaging with it, but you have to start somewhere. And so that's a choice you'll need to make as we go through. But tonight, focus on who you believe right now from the data that you've got, from the engagement, who's your target market. All right. Okay, so some things that we would look to build in could be these types of things. Okay, so their aspirations, some of their preferences, what is their daily routine. So you've heard me talk a few times about, you know, a day in the life. So when you're talking with people, the more you understand about their whole daily routine, then that can potentially sort of unlock some opportunities to be able to engage with them at various points in their day, that sort of thing. Key influences, keywords that you've picked up, some of the language that they've used, all of that type of thing can be built in. Now, we just have to use what we feel. Hey, here again. We just have to use what we feel is going to be useful, because more often, sometimes if we're putting too much into them, it doesn't become useful. You're not going to refer to it. So just really try and focus on what's the key things that resonated, that you feel might be useful for you to continue on, and really encapsulates this group of target users or target customers. And then you can always modify it. Like all of these tools, we're looking to improve them and modify them throughout the whole journey. But that's what we're looking to do to start the ball rolling. Okay, so we're going to be fairly quick on this one. We're going to have 20 minutes to craft out a first draft. You can use your computers if you have your computers. If not, we've got post-it notes and we've got the white paper we can throw up on the wall. So if you need that, jump over here and let me know. But otherwise, jump into Miro and start building it out. Here is an example. Okay. Now again, you can choose what to build in. I just mentioned the attributes and things, but here's quite a simple example that may be useful. All right. I will just run over one other thing, and I'll come back and put this up on the wall. So, a way of thinking about it is, okay, we do ideally like to capture a visual as well, because you know that tends to speak volumes. So, kind of that, if you recall that storybook project where it was, you know, young people in care. So in care could be from 0 to age 18. So we kind of worked on the cusp. So we chose somebody who looked about 12, and then built it there, just so we could make sure we're considering kind of all ages, if you like. Then build out, what do you actually currently know about this group of people? What are their distinguishing characteristics, their attributes that we were just mentioning before? Focus on their situation and their context about, and if you kind of think, what would their about section say about them? If you're reading about them on a website, what would it say about them? Also, why are they stuck? What are they having difficulty? We mentioned these struggling moments, okay? This is what we're talking about. So what are they? What's the difficulty that they're trying to overcome, that you're trying to help them make progress with? And also always coming from their perspective, and then looking at, you know, that piece of what they're trying to achieve, but also the underlying why, which hopefully we've tapped into at a deeper level. All right. Any questions? Nothing. We're good. Right. Back to there. All right. So we'll do 20 minutes on this, and then we'll do a bit of a buddy up again. It seems to be working quite well. Who needs some paper? Great. What do I do with it? There we go. Sheets here. There we go. Should be some pens over there on the table. Water. Great. Bit of music, please, there, maestro. Roofs. Who's this, Pete? 26. Ladies socks. Man.
Might want to consider and essentially you're thinking about what's going to be most relevant. It's like a what is called hypothetical persona hypothesis.
Well,
Or what is like from the data we gain from the
yes.
Okay, the second one is one. Like so we're literally
Ideally, yes.
okay, so we're literally practicing how to
Yeah.
transfer the data from the
Yeah. You got, and there will be a lot of commonalities, right? But you guys are quite broad.
I got one.
You're quite broad with who you think.
Yeah.
You've got lots of different user groups potentially, right?
Yeah.
So with this, I'd recommend you narrow it down. Who do you think you want to be targeting initially?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Create that. It doesn't mean you're excluding these, but it's getting clearer on who you're looking to start. But yes, it should all be coming from the data.
And fitting all these points into the count strategy.
You can include aspects of this. You don't have to, here's some suggestions on what you can include.
Yeah.
Again, it should be coming from the data, but also if you feel a bit's missing, then just make some assumptions at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, and just
Right,
keep going.
right. So the structure is the count strategy of this one.
Pardon?
The structure of the persona is mainly like, the correcture. What's the common one? Can you show me the count?
That one.
No, what's CALM?
Oh, right. Oh, that's just another way of looking,
Oh,
of thinking about it, right? So we have a picture, which we have on that one, right? And then we've got, what do we know about them?
Yes.
Okay, well, so what's their day in the life? So you might be targeting, let's just say parents that are between the age of 35 and 60, they earn 100K. Okay, what's their day like? What are their struggles like?
Right. They introduced the three ways of looking at it. One is the big chart one, the star. So you introduced the three ways of looking at it. First one is the star one, this one. The second one is this one.
Yeah, so these are some attributes that you may include, right?
Right.
That you may want to, right?
Yeah.
So was there a particular piece of language that they used that you can grab as a quote that resonates?
Okay.
Yeah, that
Right.
type of thing. What are some keywords or phrases? What are they looking to achieve? What's their aspirations?
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one is this is just another way of looking at it.
Yeah, and that's how you might frame it up.
Okay.
But those things on the star might be filling in here, some of this.
Oh, okay. This one might be.
Yeah.
And this one is another way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of similar in their.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
All good. The slides are all up on Mighty Networks if you need to dive into another slide.
How to share the mirror to the mentor?
Yep. So where are we? Where's your share button?
Yeah, I looked at your video and you had a share button up there, but I don't.
That's weird.
I don't know.
Let me check somebody else's in case it's only on mine. Here you go.
We're good.
Do you mind if I just have a quick look at your mirror?
Sure.
Have you shared this with your advisor?
With my mentor?
Mentor?
No, I haven't. I only just touched base with her the other day, but basically that's all my bits there. But when I signed in this morning, now it's saying it's got my HempQuest there. This is from the password I got when I first signed in, but it doesn't seem to be giving me some of the functions I get when I'm on my one at home.
That's weird.
So
sorry, because it might be an issue with the sharing.
Is it because I've logged in through the university?
I don't know. Sam's experiencing it too. Thank you. How you going?
Good, I found a template, but
just a quick question. Has anybody actually shared the Miro board as yet with their mentor?
Yep.
You have? Have we look? Yeah, where did you do it?
I just sent him through a link, like the same link I had.
Oh, okay. So maybe the functionality, sorry, just quickly, everyone, maybe the functionality that you saw me do that Loom video, where I could share it at the top right hand corner, maybe it's not there. I'll go back later and see if we can make that happen. In the meantime, what did you do, Cairo? Yeah. See, when you're testing out these things and being experimental, you should maybe actually do the test properly. There's always a workaround. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so for today's sessions, I didn't put anything into your Miro boards. I felt there wasn't anything useful that I've come across. So just build it out with your post-it notes and at the moment. Hello.
Yeah. Still would like to have like a background. How do you do that?
Oh, yep. Can I just jump in? So what you can do, oh gosh, where is it? Oh, that there. So if you want a background, oh gosh, can you click on that? Click on that and you should be able to draw a box. Yeah. Yeah.
Create frame. Oh, like that.
Yeah. So you should be able to draw one. Plus, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I had a look at that business, the yellow book. The business, I can't remember the full name of it. I personally don't like that version of a persona canvas that they had there. So I was like, yeah. So I just prefer something like this. Yeah. Have you? Okay.
Things like different Miro templates and that can be a nice little way starting point. So that's just kind of like being born with saying but never necessarily down one, but we go like we're 100% happy with that, and that's all like content specific. So it's about what here of this sort of like template is like relevant, and then what's potentially missing out of it. So Adam's
Jess and Lahiru, just checking you're A-OK with all of that.
Sure am.
Great, thank you.
So,
That's not too bad
so I was kind of thinking,
as a starter.
well, could potentially turn this into templated sort of like version. Like there's maybe a bit too much here as far as considering in some ways. Like I found it quite useful going into that.
It might not be
Level
too,
of,
too bad. Yeah. Bad picture though.
Oh yeah, I know.
Do you know that guy?
You know, but I think like personally, I really like that thing of getting them to think what would this person say in terms of a quote. You know, like
Yeah.
oh, so that's powerful.
Yeah.
Pictures.
Absolutely.
Well,
Nice.
so maybe that's something we could flesh
Come
out
on.
and go. Should we create a
Yep.
UCE persona?
Yep. And maybe maybe we include a blank space as well.
Yeah.
Because one thing I find is canvases are generally good, but sometimes people they then start living within the boundary of the canvas.
Yeah.
As opposed to hey, make it what it needs to be.
I think it's something we could reflect on, right? And we could think about a little wee bit more like here when you could actually kind of like break it down a little wee bit. So you go, oh yeah, this bit we're actually just trying to capture some demographic sort of information.
Just a wee
here we're trying to kind
explanation.
of like capture the psychographic sort of thing about the personality. And then kind of like, I quite like that thing of bringing in that little wee bit of thing around, with my product service, this is what would be the deal breaker or the deal maker sort of thing.
Yep, we can have a look at that. All good. A good one. So if you need a photo, you can just take a screen clipping and drop it into Miro. So we're just doing. So just who you may have already done some work in this space before, but just really who you think your sort of initial target market might be. So while it might be other people, okay, who are you going to start and who you're really focusing on, right? All right.
Are we focusing on like the key person, or are we looking at broader, maybe like a job?
I'll be with you in 2 seconds.
So who do you think is going to make the decision / pay for it?
Oh, right. Okay.
It's what I'll be focusing in on.
Right. So there might be like multiple people in an organization that make that
Yeah.
decision, right?
Yeah. So you've done a whole lot of conversations.
Yeah.
So what's the synthesis of that, and who's that kind of main person? So this is like a fictional representation of all that data into here. But some people had multiple customers segments potentially target segments. We're saying no, just who is it if you can.
Right. Okay.
So
Starting point.
All right. It should be fun.
All right.
What I would think that factors is a little bit I would be thinking one thing. What's a little bit of sort of like location what something around this like personality. No, make it relevant.
Yeah.
That up because this is sort of like overview of the types of different considerations.
So everything should be coming from your work you've done, the data so far. Yeah. You can also throw in some assumptions if there's some gaps here, right? But we've got about another 10 minutes on this. Sing out if you need help to push it through. Half an hour gone already.
Sorry, but change that. Who feels this pain the most?
That's a good way, yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, like, is it, uh, workers or something like that, trying to find a park to get to work on time or a meeting on time? Is it somebody going shopping with the kids?
Good way. You wanna just keep an eye on that, Pete? Can you see the, are you on here? Yeah. The after? Do you wanna jump into, Mighty Networks? It's on the welcome. You alright? Are you in, Pete? Okay. Cool, thank you. Do another 5 minutes on that. How's the back of the class going? All right, good. Yes, with,
Not this, but
yes,
also just the fact that there's really three customers and there is overlapping, but I don't know how to, if we need to like narrow it down or how to figure out how most the perfect one is.
yeah. So, so you'll only know by starting, right? So it'll more than likely change. But I think Emma was talking something before about her brother that's into fitness and then into sustainability. Well, if that potentially is it, then okay, cool. So somebody who's sustainability focused but has an active life, they're roughly this age range, So if I'm hopefully you research, you can then, that is what they look like.
We do have that there.
Okay, great. But if we're talking about, we're going after parents that are this situation, young people that are doing this, we don't want that. We want, okay, who is going to be the people that are going to adopt this first and foremost? And if you can frame that up, it will make things a heck of a lot easier. And because otherwise it's kind of like, well, how do we market to this one? How do we market to this one? How do we make it too difficult? You want to get some traction, and then from there it spreads. It doesn't mean you're isolating other people. It's just, this is who we're going after. This is who we believe it is. And it might be wrong and you have to change. That's fine. But what is your insights from your research told you so far? What do they look like?
They look like either a combination of both sustainability
Yep.
and nutrition. Typically, hear more about sustainability.
Yep.
than nutrition. So sustainability
Yep.
is first and nutrition
Okay.
And the thing is, in terms of our competitors, we have one competitor that compete heavily on these things.
Yes.
On our values. But it's overseas, and we know that they have no nutritional facility. The only reason we know that is because they somehow Brienne knew about this. You tell us about it. Did she tell us about it?
Well, we don't know. They might change that decision tomorrow. So, okay, that's fine. You still think you want to go after them, but then you're looking at, well, how do I modify my product so that it in some way gives us a bit of a advantage, or what is their differentiator compared to them if they did come here?
That's where we were thinking flavors.
Yep.
Adding flavors to that.
Yep. Yep.
Would they want to do that?
Yep.
Copying us?
Yeah. So, well, potentially yes, and some of the work you've done and you're doing with your persona may help inform some of these things that you will try and test.
We also
Which is a whole.
on the computer and looking at their claims on their packets. There's a lot of things that wouldn't pass.
Okay, cool.
So
So again, you draw that out and maybe speak to it in your marketing. All good.
thanks.
Okay,
Actually,
cool.
talk about it out loud.
All good. All right, we'll do another. How are we going with progress? Another 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, three or 4 minutes, and then we'll do a bit of buddying up, and you'll be able to share your persona and get some feedback. Yes.
How do we go about that?
So, yeah, again, there's no clear cut of how you're going to do it, but remember how I was sort of coming to that story around that power tool manufacturer?
Yes.
Right. So after all the heavy research they did, then they honed in on the core problem that they wanted to focus in on, actually sat with the chief financial officer. Right? And so that would be their main persona. But they would have also built out the other personas for the purpose of when they're trying to navigate those organizations and get the adoption, there'll be people within their organization that will be championing it. There'll be ones that will be trying to sabotaging it because they have their own motivations. So they would have built out probably the other ones, but their main one was likely, I mean, I haven't seen their work.
And someone's power to be able to push it.
Yeah, to be able to make the decisions. Yeah, absolutely. So again,
It's a lot more complex.
Yeah.
This is, for me, my first customer is my second customer, like as a business. So
Yep.
I'll be focused on my first to start with.
Great.
Business.
Yep. Yeah, good move. Yep. So, are you able to put put them into a breakout room in a minute.
Your chat should direct messaged you.
Yep, that's cool. All right, so another minute, and then for the benefit of those who are online, we will also be doing the budding up. So we will be putting you into a breakout room so that you can work with the other people who are online. For the ones that are online, this is our breakout room for everyone in person. Cool. Alrighty, okay. We'll call time on that one. Have we all got a good starting point of a persona? Yes. Great, awesome. Pick a buddy at another table, something like that. Somebody you didn't engage with last time, and 5 minutes each. One person sharing the persona. Obviously introduce what your solution is as well, and get some feedback from them. Hey, here you go. Hey, just when you can you flip me through the details, and maybe you've already done it. Oh, you have. Oh, thanks. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Are you okay? You grab Pete if somebody's spare. Or Megdim. Oh yeah, no, you're right. There you go. Pete, would you mind helping? You're gonna be the buddy, yeah? Is that right? Yep. They should be buddying amongst themselves. Thanks, Pete.
Yep, cool. That's still going. Sorry about that. Awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So my case, like it is this parking solution.
Sure.
Where I bought hardware tech to decide the occupancy of that particular parking space.
Yes. Yeah.
So then, yeah. So initially, I thought that is like my direct plastic council.
Yeah.
So with my mentor, yeah, a few days before, like so when I had chat with him, I realized that direct targeting city council, so maybe sometime like the council currently tight in budgets, so they are always trying to cut the costs and things like that. It is we don't have much chance of they are accepting such product at this
Yes.
because of that I think deeper. So I think it is not only for city council. My solution is like good solution for like businesses in the town as well. For example, just think about Westfield shopping mall.
Sure.
Sometimes more businesses like that. So they also can mount this type of hardware.
Now this is very interesting because I don't know if the other thing that you got from the city council as a potential objection is they don't actually want to make parking in the city easier.
Yes.
Because they want to try and have more people cycling, walking, using public transport.
Yes, that is
so,
yeah.
But this idea of exploring the likes of Westfield, etc., where they're the opposite. They want to encourage people driving, and coming, and then have various periods where parking can be an issue.
Yes, yes. For example, like especially Westfield shopping mall, sometimes there are many instances, people block that entrance.
Oh, yes, no, no, I know, living close to Westfield, I have, some insight. So I think that is, it's interesting because it's, in some ways, it's kind of like, it's starting to, find it's not necessarily even it's taking the same pain and problem, but it's actually providing quite a different
Yes, yes,
solution to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. So then like, so
Another minute and we'll swap over.
I get opportunity to reserve the parking in advance, like, so
Yes.
then because I mount this hardware tag and it can indicate like that particular parking slot is booked. So then, so when we arrive there, so we can directly go to the parking slot. Like my persona, like, I usually thought like city councils are the main customer, but we can have like business owners in the city, or maybe like Westfield, like shopping mall, maybe like farmers, like places. So and also some instances like so Boxing Day, and but it is only for that particular day. But so when we have like a situation that where we struggle for parking, so this still can be useful. Like yeah, so mainly city council on the parking spot. I initially put like this off-street parking. If I can solve with the hardware that is a good solution.
So what I want you to think about is when you're thinking about
Okay, let's swap over, everyone.
business users. Sorry, I need to put myself on mute.
Swap over now online if you haven't already. Sorry, so my as you're going, make sure you're sort of critiquing their perception of a persona. Okay, 2 more minutes. All right, 30 seconds. All right. Okay. All right. We'll call time on that one, everyone. Thank you. All good. Need to move on. Hello, hello. There we go. There's Pete. Look, hopefully you started to find that useful in terms of that interaction, and hopefully there was some critique and questioning about your own perception of what you sort of found. But just really want to reiterate, keep focusing on it, and it's really about your first target market, your initial target market. Doesn't mean you're excluding others. And if you're in a B2B setting that Peter was talking about, just for the purposes of getting going with it, maybe you'll still have a user within that business or an end user outside of that business. You still need to create one on them. But in terms of like a decision maker within a business, maybe that's the person that you focus in on. And eventually you may have multiple people within that business that you need to understand, but keep it as simple as possible. Less personas are more useful generally, because otherwise it just becomes too hard for your team. And that's the purpose of this, is that as you go through, it's a common understanding of who are your key customers or the influential people that you really need to understand. All right. So we will push on now. We're going to put you all right. You all good? Yep. Oh, I just need to, there we go. There we go. Okay, journey mapping. And same question. How do we go? Everybody get a chance to look at the video? Right, so there's another video there. I think it's well worth it. He does expand into other terms like front of stage, back of stage. The reality is we're talking about front of stage largely. Ours probably won't be as in depth as what he will start going into. Back of stage just means all that operational stuff in behind the scenes, okay, that your customers actually don't experience. Well, they experience, but they don't directly connect or touch, okay? So what are we talking about here? So we're looking at from all of the data and understanding that we're now developing, and again we can do the same thing. We can make some assumptions on this and fill in the gaps later as we go. But we're effectively looking to map out the core steps, okay, within the customer journey. And you kind of think about it that we have three main phases, right? So we have, let's just say, awareness or discovery of you, and then we have use of you, of your product or service, and then we have kind of the after sales. So if you think about that as three themes, but map out the core steps, that goes up the top. And then what you have is you'll then map out the actors or the people involved down here, and then you're kind of looking at, well, okay, what's some interesting information at this particular step that I've found. It could be a touch point, right? So they interacted with my app at this time of day or whatever, okay? But so what are the interesting bits of information? What is the gaps that are missing, the opportunities that are within that whole flow, that whole journey? Yeah, what are the barriers? What are the friction points? What are people frustrated with? We should hopefully have a good sense of that. And that's what you're looking to kind of map out. And from there, you can look at, well, what parts of this do we try and what are critical for the success of our business? Because it's not just going to be a product; it's how the consumer experiences it and their whole journey. Okay. Again, it's just a starting point. Does that make sense? What I've covered off there. Any questions on that? All right. Pete and I will be floating around to help. Any questions online? Okay. Right. Here's another example that we had. We're not going to that extent, but I would really like you to try and do something. It can be as simple as this one. Okay. So you want to be capturing some of the emotional pieces in there as well, because again, that's the points of leverage, the points of opportunity that you can work into your whole service offering. Because whether it's some printed environmentally friendly reusable plates, there's a whole service offering, and there's likely to be a whole digital component to that as well, a website, that sort of thing, potentially. All right. Makes sense? Cool. Just thought I'd share you these. So I'm not just kind of making it up. These things here. So anybody come across these numbers before? Yes, we will come across these numbers, but in this kind of sequence, in this kind of context. Have a guess. There's a half a packet of available as a prize. No? Everybody's excited about those now. No. Right. Okay. So Dunbar's numbers. Can't give you the background about Dunbar's, but basically he worked out that there are 7 hours of content required to build trust as a general rule. So somebody needs to have experienced your content, your offering, right, for up to 7 hours before they feel confident in that you're a trustworthy operator. Okay, Google worked out that there are 11 touch points of interaction before somebody buys. So they saw you on the TV, they saw you on their phone, maybe there was a poster, whatever it is, 11 touch points, okay, before they made that decision, and in 4 different locations. So if this doesn't kind of explain how important working and considering the journey, then I don't know what will, because it's quite complicated generally to build up that trust and for people to decide to make action. And remember what we talked about? We've got a struggling moment and we've got the context. So the Snickers bar, I'm leaving here, I'm going to the supermarket, I'm super hungry, I know tea's going to be at home, but I'm just ravenous, so I'm going to buy that. So struggling moment, super hungry after class, and that whole context piece, that's what made me buy a Snickers bar, regardless, I really don't need it, right? So that's the sort of thing just to think about. So journey mapping, some sort of key sort of steps or things to consider. Choose your persona. So we've already just mapped out a persona, okay? Map the current state using your data and insights, what you think it currently is. You can fill in the gaps with some assumptions. And well, I've just mentioned those experiences. So before, during, and then after is kind of high level. And again, you might only have 9 steps at the moment. Totally cool, no problem. So it doesn't have to be super detailed. It's just starting to think through these processes. All right. The sequential steps, and again, it's not about zooming right in. It's stepping back and keeping it fairly high level. Generally, is where most of you will want to be at this point. What you can do once you've kind of mapped out, I'm talking, in a few months, whatever. Hey, yeah, we've really nailed this. Really looks like a good representation of our general customer or target customer journey. You might have a friction point, then you can zoom in and you can do another kind of process or journey map, okay? But we want to capture those emotional things as well, because otherwise it is just a process map, as opposed to this is a human-centered journey. So we need to understand how they're feeling and all those contexts of why they might buy. And the lanes of down, oh, well, it's not there, but other than those actors I mentioned touch points. You could put in there just a smiley face. You could draw a picture, like a storyboard of, hey, this is what's happening at this point in time, so you really understand it. So what are they thinking, feeling, doing? What are the opportunities? What's critical for success? And what sticks out as you're going through? Capture a question that you've got that maybe you need to dive into in your further discovery interviews and things. Make sense? Any questions on that one? Cool. We only give this for the pretty much probably until 1:45. So a good, 40 minutes? Cool. We going? Go for it. 40 minutes. Feel free to do them in your computer, or I'll put out the pens and the post-it notes. You can do them up on the wall. A bit of music there, Maestro. Right. Well, take it out of the way. I'll go back to there. Would you like that information up, or do you want the graphic? Both? All right, maybe flick to your PDF that's in Mighty Networks for the other piece.
The journey maps shouldn't match with that chart.
No.
Was it also just like the decision making process of one customers? What I'm saying is
Well, that'll be in there, yeah.
okay. What's the structure, general structure of the journey map?
Yeah, so map out. Well, so we've got, if you think about before, during, and after.
Okay.
Right. So what's their journey? So maybe they're searching for cool things to do in Christchurch.
Right.
One thing.
That's
okay.
Before, yeah.
Who's doing that? Okay. Well, that key person is their child also involved somewhere? They might not be making the decision, but are they involved as well? Right.
Is it the next step of the first step? Like who is involved before, after the?
So
yeah, it'd be good to if I could have see an example.
Yep.
How it looks like.
Just like that. All right. So up the top, you have steps.
Right.
Right. So what's the first? So if you think about, there's a phase of like, let's call it before they buy your product. What are the 3 steps that you've found is happening, or 2 steps, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Okay. And it could be it's
like a different consideration.
Yeah, it's a sunny day, because you may have found that people are only going to do this on a sunny day.
Yeah.
It's a sunny day. Okay, then they search for. So they're looking at the weather. Then they're searching for cool things to do in Christchurch.
Right. Okay.
2 steps.
Right. It's like a puzzle up with different elements that they are making decision before they make decision.
Absolutely. So what's leading up to it? What's the things that are leading them to making the choice for you to potentially buy this?
Yeah.
And then we've got the key steps there, and then during the purchase, and then we've got what happens after. Yeah. So an after piece could be you keep them on a you send them a referral, right? Invitation, or you send them a 50% discount to the next ride.
Yeah. But this is all from hypothesis.
Some of this should be coming from your discovery work.
But it's more like before they make a decision, and we cannot predict what's going to happen after or during that, right?
Not necessarily. If you've had really robust discovery conversations, right? There's potentially little snippets in there that you would have picked up.
Yeah, yeah.
So as an example, if you went and had some of those conversations with some people,
what they're looking for.
What made you decide to come to Christchurch? Oh, because of the Avon. Oh, okay, what's interesting there? I've always wanted to go punting on the Avon. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? So it's like, the deeper we can have those discovery conversations, then we should be able to pick out snippets. But if you don't have that, make some assumptions.
Yeah, and validate later.
Absolutely.
Yes. The one before the last exercise we do, it's like the goal we're talking about from customer's perspective. The women make a persona.
Yep.
Like it has a section as it goes. It's like a customer's perspective, like what they're looking for to achieve as goals, or it's like as a seller, like a seller's point as to what we can offer them.
Hang on, so say that again.
So
the persona.
Yeah, the persona.
Yeah.
Just a section.
Yeah.
That indicate as goals.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
yeah, it's like from customer's perspective.
It's all from the customer perspective.
Right.
Yep.
Cool.
Absolutely. Cool. Are you going, Corey? All right. Makes sense. Cool. Sing out the persona went all right. You feel the persona went all right. Good. How you going, Andy? All right? How you going? Yeah.
I've got a good idea of who the target customers are.
Who's that?
I've got some good feedback.
Oh, great. Who?
I'm trying to do some personality profiles as hard work because I have no idea what people's personalities are.
Oh, hang on.
So it's my daughter's to
Oh, you're doing actually some official personality profiles. Huh? Okay.
Yeah. Trying to imagine what people's hobbies are as hard work.
Yeah.
Without going into cliches.
Yeah. So who do you think is your initial target market?
There's a lot, but the initial target market would be group bookings.
Great.
And group bookings covers several different categories. So tour groups, schools, aged care, trips.
So out of those, who's your target?
So they're all. So the touristy one is quite easy because there's a lot of industry behind that.
Okay. So is your target the actual travel booker?
At the end of the day, it's the travel booker.
Okay. Yep. Okay, cool.
But there's lots of stakeholders around as well.
Yeah. I get it, not easy, and if you end up with 2 or 3, cool, that's fine, it's fine, it's just look into who you're going after, because you've got to get revenue to make this even go further, right? So who are you going to get that? Yep, for a start, and your business will change, but who can you tap into for a start?
Understand all that sort of, but try and fill out these,
Yeah.
these forms.
Any questions that I can help with?
Where's all the templates?
Yeah, no templates on that. No, it's yeah, it's really something that, you know, I mean, because I could have drawn a box that says have some phases, have some steps, here's some axes, but
That's right.
all right.
I've learned how to do templates.
Do you want any help on how to use it?
No. Pretty straightforward.
Okay.
It's just knocking things down. I must figure that out.
Yep. Feel free to use paper and pen at the moment. I personally still use paper and pen and put stuff in there all the time. I know it's doubling up, but I just relate easier to it.
Yeah, well, paper and pen's good. But if I do it on paper and pen, it doesn't get what pen.
So just coming back around the level of Zoom, we're keeping it very relatively high level at the moment. As I said, you might end up with 9 steps, maybe 2 or 3 in the awareness piece before they use you, 3 to 4 in the purchase sort of process, and maybe 1 or 2 afterwards, just to get the momentum. So keep it high level. There you go. All right. Any questions? Okay.
Moment.
Yeah.
Just focus on one person out first and see how it goes.
Yeah. How many did you end up building up?
I only built one, but I need to.
Yep.
I only got one, but I need to divide them. It's like 2 general.
Why?
In my interviews, there were quite different people.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of them would not be a targeted customer, like would not be customer at all.
Okay.
And some of them are, but they are different. So I guess like I have to.
Yep. So exclude those ones that are not.
Yeah.
And just work. Is there commonalities that you can frame up there?
There were.
Are these all parents? Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get more of these done.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I got enough. So now I want to work on the one that I know already.
Yeah.
And then also there are ones that I haven't synthesized enough.
Yeah. So if you're telling me the story and you say, I've got this service, right? Who's it for right now? Who do you think it's for, based off who you've talked to?
So it's for parents with kids aged 3+
Yep.
to like 10.
Yep.
12,
Yep.
that themselves care about nature or nature play.
Yes. Okay.
And themselves quite care about their child's growth and well-being.
Yep. Okay.
And then has the financial security, whatever, to
Yep.
provide.
Yep. And is that coming from the data, or is that coming from what you are hoping that they are?
No, that's coming from the data.
Great.
All those people I interviewed are say like close to upper income.
Yep.
Definitely above middle income.
Great.
Upper income class.
Yeah. And what are we struggling with?
What do they struggle with?
Yeah.
So they can't find. I mean, they can't find anything that's already there.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm providing.
What have they tried? What's the alternatives?
So they've tried going out, just going
Yeah.
out to do certain things. They've also tried different other toys,
Yeah.
but not exactly what I was mentioning. And then one of the challenges they have is they don't have enough time themselves
Yes.
to take the kids out,
Okay.
or they don't know how.
All right. Sounds like you're building up a whole lot of great insight.
Yeah.
And how you've described it to me, I think you've got one persona that works quite well for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that one.
Yeah.
And there were people like just they either they don't care about this, they think that they value like musical instrument, or they value the kids learning something like engineer or math more, rather than getting into nature. And then there's another person who is from the forest therapy guide group. She said, I can just do it myself, I don't need this.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that, and that's great. And it's always good to have those conversations about people who are not going to be your customers. So again, it's like you're clarifying who's not for you.
Yeah.
That's just as important. That's great. Nice. Good.
Noticing like a few people being a tiny bit sort of like semi-views within the axis, so I was just gonna go back to this one and explain the kind of like axis.
To this one here.
Yeah, well,
No. Yeah, no. I'd leave. No, it was too much, I think,
Right.
for these guys.
Oh,
at the moment. Yeah.
this one from them,
Yeah, but go to the other one. How are you going? All good? Any questions? Can I help?
I've just kind of made it up before, during, and after.
Beautiful. Yep. Great.
So I put like high and low emotion, or positive and negative emotion, or something.
You
like
don't
that.
have to. What all I do, like generally, this is how I usually like to fill them in. I do the steps first,
Yeah.
and then I go, well, okay, what are all the pieces here?
Yeah.
Who's involved, and build on those other elements. And one of the elements might be at this particular point right here. There's a really happy face. This point here, there's a bit of a and another one is an unhappy face.
Yeah.
So you can build it in like that. And we description, like, because that clearly shows how they're feeling, right? But it could be, you may also want something around a really frustrating point. So some detail on that at that point. Yep. Makes sense?
Yes. I think I don't know if I think I'm making too many assumptions, because I haven't kind of interviewed.
Who's your customer?
That's a great question. I've just had my meeting with my
Yeah.
mentor, and now I'm rethinking everything.
Yeah.
But it's like low income.
Yeah.
Low income individuals cooking themselves or cooking for.
That's who you think it is?
That's who I think it is. Yes.
Great. Just work on that. Again, there's no right or wrong way of filling it in. I generally do the steps and then build it out that way. That's good that the meeting with your mentor went okay. And
Oh yeah, it was great. So useful.
Good.
Now I've got a lot to think about, and I went straight from there to connect with someone,
Yeah.
and then and then I came back here and had some interviews here. So it's been a very productive day.
Great, great.
I've got a lot of
Great. I've seen your Miro board. There's lots of thinking, good work in there, lots of thinking in there. And that's great. At some point in this, which will be maybe when we've had the industry day, you're kind of drawing a line in the sand. You say, from everything I've learned, this is how I think it is. And you should be able to substantiate your decisions around that. And then when we're coming back to the assumptions, because you've got assumptions around that product, which also tie in with that user, right? Like their ability to afford it and things like that. That's what we start to test. You've been doing some of the testing already, right? But we'll try and specifically test something. Okay. How you going? Eh? With who? Say again.
I connect for different people. It's
Oh
because
yes,
my,
yep.
my project.
Yes.
And last time you
I remember.
tell me,
Yeah.
Maybe just connect to other people, and I find that one, and he got a dog, get dog, right?
Yeah,
And
guide dog. Okay, yeah. He's got a.
He have a cat dog.
Okay,
and
great.
He want he love to talk to me tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Congratulations. Well done.
Yeah, I already find some
Good.
person.
And then, have you got another one?
I got no, I just connect.
Okay.
But I already have one person.
It's great. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Try and find another one. And in that interview with that person, is there somebody else that you know that I can speak to? And if he says, yes, absolutely, and he gives you one name, well, do you have another name?
All right.
And you've got two more.
Okay.
Just like that. Good work. Are you okay on this? Any questions?
No, I already done one of those.
Have you?
Yeah,
Great.
before. So it's this one just like
Okay.
I'm thinking if they have another one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. Any you okay with Miro, how it works and stuff, getting in?
Okay, I not like finish the mirror things.
Yeah. It'll pay to try and put some work into the Miro side, because what will happen is, and if you're unclear about anything, feel free to book a time one-on-one. Like you've got your mentor, right? But you can connect with me as well on the using Calendly. You know, that's in the link is in the overview section on the hub. Okay, so you can make a time to see me. It's not any time, but there's lots of options there. So feel free to use that. Happy to help out. But the reason I'm saying around Miro, about getting stuff in there is basically after industry day, I'm gonna so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna see that and just kind of get a deeper understanding about where everybody is at. And then because then when we come to what are we actually going to test, it needs to kind of be based on something. So remember the assumptions mapping that we did, but if you can build out those other tools as well, that really helps understand where your thinking is at the moment. And it's not about right or wrong. It's just really, this is what I've learned so far, and this is what I think with some assumptions. It's okay.
Yeah, I just come here every day, so I just think
Yeah.
Miro just not
Yeah.
I will think about
Cool.
it. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh. Okay, guys. Any questions on it?
So once we've mapped out the steps, we basically then sort of dig into at each step the sort of the emotions and experiences.
Yeah, so you might put in there the actors as well. So one actor might be you, salesperson.
Yep.
One will be the customer, potentially their child. Okay.
Yep.
Could be one person, could be three.
Yeah, good point.
Right.
Yep.
And you'll be putting in there the where things are breaking down. Okay, where are their frustration points? What are they interacting with? So at this point, what are the touch points?
Yeah, the touch points. Yep.
Right, and you might not have a touch point of everything, right?
Yeah.
But just mapping it out.
Yeah.
and particularly those frustrations, and then looking for, you know, where are the opportunities and what is really critical, what is the real critical point for success of this venture? Because it's probably not going to be you rocking up in a sales capacity.
Yep.
It's probably going to be something beforehand, I would suggest. Because the sale is already made back here before they talk with you, probably.
True. Yeah. Yeah. They're ready to make that decision by the time.
They've done their homework, but they're really interested.
Yeah. Yeah.
They want to buy,
Yeah.
and now it's all down to inviting them in.
Yeah. Yeah. Not being away. Not
Yeah.
away. Yep.
All good, Sam?
Yep.
Okay. You going all right? Any questions? Are you okay? Okay. Feel free. Lovely. Thanks, Pete. All right, we've got about another quarter of an hour to go on this. We'll do a quick bit of buddying up after that, and then that's us for the evening. Oh, is Leo not working? Let's talk more action, Leo. Come on.
That's from Lenny's podcast.
Who?
Lenny.
Lenny. Yeah. It's a great podcast. It's excellent. Yeah, I listen to all his episodes usually. Yeah. He's good on the technology front. Yeah, he used to work Airbnb.
Pretty good.
No?
I had a meet up with Nigel.
Oh, good. Nigel Sharplin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. You get on all right?
Yeah.
Good.
He's nice and
Yeah.
frank and blunt on some of the things.
He's been around a long time. I don't personally know him too well, but the interactions I've had, he's on the ball, but he's also quite empathetic. You know, he's in design thinking space a lot. So,
And if you did it intentionally, is that my solution aligns with the 3 pillars of his purpose and business and his business?
all right, good.
That's not actually mapping out, but I've thought about it.
Good. Cool. So, yeah, map out the frustration. What are the critical points that must be right? So, where are things breaking down, or where do you think they could break down? So, it can be all hypothesis, right? But hopefully, there's some data insights to fill in. How you going, Renee? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. Whatever works. Do you need any help? Any questions? Yeah, there's no real right or wrong, but we've kind of got 3 phases. Then what I'd generally do would be, oh gosh, this is looking a bit. Oh, you're in mural.
What's wrong with that?
No,
Oh, that's
right. Can you jump into Miro? Because we did send you you guys a Miro link, and the reason for that is that I can see everybody's, and so I can dive in one place.
So I just used like the one that I already had access to.
Yeah,
just like
no, that's okay. Yeah.
The password. Do I need to make?
Yeah, we send you a password, which is your name.
Oh, that's good. I go back. Just lower.
All lowercase. Be first and last name.
Space or no space?
No space. If it doesn't let you in, then it'll be capitals.
All capital?
No. Like, each letter. Yeah, so if you can populate it as much as you can in the mirror, then it helps if I need to kind of help out and stuff. Cool. And generally what I do, so you can do the labels like you did before, during and after,
Yeah.
but then grab a post-it note over here, right? And there's your first step. Well, step 1, step 2, whatever, and then who's involved, where things breaking down, what's the critical success point, what are they touching at certain steps, and again, you don't have to be touching something at every step. Maybe they are, but it could just be the key ones you want to highlight. And then what's their experience? Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they frustrated with something? Why are they frustrated at this point? Cool. All good? Here we go. Searching. Yep.
So this might be the problems that the negative experiences could lead to the discovery as well. They might have had bad experiences or fine. And then so they do the discovery and then they get the app for the application and sign up. And so their after is like they tell the friends, like the reviews, feedback sort of. And then we have like so there might be problems when they're using the or there can be some negative things like we don't know, but there can be like things like they go to the Kafka, the app is available, something could happen like unpredicted.
So how do they lodge a complaint? How do they get help?
Customer care.
Okay, how's that built in?
That's an option.
Yeah, so where is that? So there'll be certain touch points as well. So build in those touch points. And you're identifying like maybe and it's a hypothesis, right? It's okay, you think that there could be times where this is happening. Okay, cool. There's a friction point here. Okay, then you can dive in and go, okay, how do we address this? You know, is it a chat bot? Is it a call this helpline straight away?
Here, like until they, like, so we are talking about like an application that they use multiple times, right?
Yep.
So, like in this journey, are we talking like their whole life cycle, or are we talking about until they get converted as a customer?
Oh, you'd be talking holistically the life cycle, right? The full life cycle. But just keep it really simple for now.
Yeah.
What are the key bits that are happening before, during, and after? So the after bit could be, as an example, with the app, you might have a rating.
You could offer to read it.
Right, cool. And then you've got maybe some bonus system there for that type of thing coming in. So and again, how are they interacting with it? So you
Some of these pointers like lead new people back.
Yes.
Here.
And you might with the points, that could be something, I'm just making stuff up, right? It could be like a discount on a parking on certain days or something like that.
Yeah.
Somehow you can negotiate it, right?
Yeah.
Because these parking buildings, they want to fill them up, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Probably not hard to fill them up at the moment, but they want to fill them up. So is there deals to be done there with the parking complexes? Oh, gosh. How you going, Leo? Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, you've written steps. You've written steps.
I'm thinking. I'm getting assessment from my colleagues.
Yes.
In terms of, like, how the steps that people want to do it. I think that before doing it, it's like I think particularly want to consider price. Price is one of the reasons why they didn't do it.
What's an action? What is something that is happening?
Allocation. Action.
Yeah.
So looking for something.
Absolutely. Looking for something to do.
Yeah.
So then what do?
step two, then they look around, walk around, wander around to find the, you know, to visit, to go to visit different places like museum.
Yeah, but even in this piece here, is there some level of research that is happening? Because they're probably just generally not going to be just looking around, right? They might go, well, what are some amazing activities to do in Christchurch?
Yeah.
So they've done some level of research. So how did they do that research?
Oh, social media, those kind of things.
Cool. So it could be research. And the touch point is the social media app, or whatever.
Okay, is the here?
Yeah. So, yeah. So generally, I like.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way, but I generally like map out your core steps and then who's involved. So who are the people here? And it could just be one person, and that's fine. But there will also be potentially a helpline, right? So that would be the business here. At some point, would be involved in a step.
Right. So where should I put my you know, the social media section?
Well, it depends wherever it is, right? So if they're doing the research, they're looking for something, maybe that's it there, they're looking for something to do.
Yeah.
What are they touching? They're touching an app, or are they touching the computer? They're looking at a websites, right?
Right. So social media is like here.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's like vertical. It's not like right?
Well, it can be. So we've got, what are the steps?
Yeah.
Yep, horizontal. And then vertical, there'll be certain things that are happening. So certain people that are involved, actors, so the customer, and then maybe the travel agent, and maybe
right.
You guys. But so that's down here, but you might not be interacting with this process all the way through, right? So then you map out, well, what are they touching? What are the friction points? Where are things breaking down? What are they struggling with at certain steps?
Okay, so in that sense, if this section is who's been involved, so the first one is individual, I guess, individual visitor, right? And they're looking for something to do, and they walk around different places, or they do social media.
Okay.
Yeah, is this kind of a
Yeah.
good percent?
Yeah, I mean,
And here it's like, you know, the travel agent might be, and an international recruiter.
yeah, so he might be providing recommendations.
But here has to be action.
So as we've got steps down here, so remember on that visual that we also had down the side here, we had actors. So here's you, here's them, right? And then what's happening here? So, and then at this box, there's something. Then maybe at this one, there's something.
Okay, I'm still confused.
Yep. So
I'm here.
So imagine what you've done, because everything's this way, right? So imagine that is down this way, right, as well. Let's just say. So here is the customer at this channel.
Okay.
Here is you, this channel.
Oh.
Here's the travel agent.
Okay.
At this channel.
Okay. So this is one.
Right, because here's one channel. Right. Here's these other ones.
Yeah.
Right. And here the travel agent might be in recommendations. So he might be involved in that point and that point.
I see.
Make sense?
Okay. I see.
Cool.
And the step one is the action
Yeah.
belongs to this channel.
Yes.
Step two,
Yes.
This is the step one, action belongs to this channel.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Oh, okay.
Right.
I was really, I'm doing this, I'm like, oh, so I was doing the one before my solution.
Five more minutes, everyone.
Is it, do we need two of these, like one without a solution, one with a solution, or what do you? Like I was, because it was.
So you're imagining that you have a solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but I meant, the current one I was doing without a solution, just like, here's what somebody currently has to go through to try to do this.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Is that?
Yeah. Now you can slot in your solution and just see what happens. But
Yeah.
either way, it's showing you where are some opportunities, where are things breaking down,
Yeah.
and then what can you maybe focus on in your total offering
Yeah.
to make it a much better experience
Yep.
for them to buy, which will help you beat your competitors.
Yeah. Cool. I was coming at it from the point of view of, here's the
problem rather than trying to come up with a solution. Yeah?
That's okay, but you need to slot that in because you will be thinking about, well, how do they interact with you, and how are they going to buy from you? Yeah. So we're imagining that we have it, right?
Yep.
Cool. Migdom, you're all right?
Yeah.
Taking it a bit of an interesting approach. Like today, we like a couple of days ago, we had a conversation with these people, like maps, geospatial. Yeah, they were talking about the process that they go through to get jobs from, especially government agencies and things like that.
Nice.
Transpower, they like this for proposals and things like that. About that process. So kind of map out that persona and that customer journey experience from the perspective of the coordinator requesting these proposals, what they might go through, from ending relationship with their previous supplier, looking for requirements based on some of the rules from previous, engaging with the right team.
So you're picking your coordinator as your customer
Yes.
because they're making a decision.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And then that's what we do. And then we
Yep.
sort of find, hey, this is really frustrating for that patient. Just make sure we do this right.
Perfect. That's good. All right, couple more minutes. Geez, what's he done for music?
Gone from Metallica to classical. Love the show. I've got it right.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Good. No worries.
All practice pickup. So.
No problem. So tomorrow, same time.
Yep.
We're going to be in Makerspace, level 4.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool.
Right.
Yep. Okay, we'll wrap that up, everyone. Now that Pete got us going on classical music. All right. So we're going to do butting up, okay? So you'll be able to share your journey map. People can ask questions. Maybe go back with the person that you had before, if possible, except this time probably you two together. So again, share your idea and talk them through how you believe customers will discover you, how they'll use you, and what's happening after, and identify any key points, and then let them sort of critique and add some value. We'll do 5 minutes each. Pete, are you able to jump on with Jess? Thanks, Pete. A room. Oh no, she is there. Yeah. Okay.
So you could.
So my apology.
Break
So how do we doing that?
Okay.
Break it rooms, just throw people in.
Yep, cool. I like it.
Just-
And so this one, overall, yeah, and then Jess and Maharu should be.
Right, okay. So on that, sorry, I didn't think Mahiru was there anymore. So you don't need to jump in if you don't want to.
But I'll just, triple check.
Do I join them? There we go.
Jess has, and I'll just jump in there.
Okay. Yep. Right. Oh, yeah. Still moving. Thank you. Couple more minutes, then we'll change over. All right, 30 seconds.
Yeah, feel of the charger will be.
Something tonight, Pete? Going out or?
Oh, no. No. Can't bear.
Sound good? All right, if we can swap over, please.
Sorry, we went on a tangent.
Yeah. I had to be honest, I haven't looked. I saw the odd one on social, so yeah, I think they're going fine. 2 more minutes.
I think given this is possibly one of the big opportunities is to be able to actually do a little custom template resource.
Yeah, we build out stuff like that, eh?
And when are you going? When am I going to give you your honorary doctorate? Would you have a good one?
I possibly would, probably when I'm maybe a bit older.
Yeah.
Like maybe retirement. Actually, you're about the 4th person in this year that has said you should do one, or have you thought about one? I'm like, nah, I've got other things to put my energy in. I'd like to, just from I enjoy that whole process of learning, you know,
I think that's why we all
and diving deep, you know, on something as well. But family stuff to do, a whole lot of other stuff to do, you know. I mean, so my wife did one, and so I've seen her journey.
so therefore you've seen the pain.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, actually, like maybe I'll keep my distance.
Yeah. Oh, another 30 seconds. I'll bring the online back.
Well, yeah, I actually, before I even did this, I mean, you do, you know, sort of seems around.
Oh, they're gone. I'm going to close room.
Oh, they get 60 seconds generate.
Oh, so yeah, but there's no participants.
This is probably
Ah. Oh no. Oh what? Okay.
And then 20 seconds
Okay. Alrighty.
See everyone.
There's Pete. Pete's back. Oh, where's that coming from, Pete? Brilliant. All right. Some good discussion there. Anybody like to just share something that they perhaps picked up from their partner, or something new that they just learned from this exercise? Hello.
Main thing I think I should really good templates.
Oh, in Miro. Oh, okay.
Yep. And probably the other thing was just to add in at the end that a really happy customer. I know from other past experience, the past statistic will happy customer will tell lots of people, and so that's the key thing to rely on. And also, an unhappy customer will tell you more.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. So this is a great exercise for the purposes we're trying to do now. But as you go along and you're building your business, you continue on developing these out, they can actually become future states, so aspirational side of things, right? So you mentioned the happy customer. Well, where do we want that to be for that customer, right? So it's the type of thing that you can start developing out, and then mapping out how you might get there. Some changes that you might make, some innovations within that whole sort of business model, within that whole process. Ricky?
Yeah, so just Miss Fella's customer journey, I was interested, I didn't think about it, but he said to take into account political cycles.
Okay.
Depending on the government, changes the speed at which he needs to get this product on the market. And you know, how effective it is, and that's something that I haven't really think about, and it really shows the importance of that empathetically.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, farmers need to think about the cycle. They look at different things. I thought that was difficult.
Awesome. Hey, thank you very much for sharing. I think we're all sort of sensing the value. Is anybody left online? They're all gone? Are they? Well, would anybody online like to share something, perhaps? No.
You always throw me under the bus, so not today, sir.
Not today. Okay, fair enough. I won't throw you under the bus today. All right. So moving on. Just double checking on the mentor front. Is everybody connected? Great. We are, just to let you know, we are still getting the last handful of remaining NDAs. I can't let you know exactly who they are right now off the top of my head, but we are actively reaching out and say, hey, come on, get them in, that sort of thing, all right? So should be taken care of. Again, if there's any red flags, I'll let you know perhaps tomorrow. But you should be free to go and engage and get there, tap into their wealth of experience. Okay, so your challenge, continue the work we've been doing. Sounds like a broken record, but the more you do it, the more you keep building out your thinking in Miro as well. That would be super useful for yourselves, but also for mentors and perhaps our team to sort of help you out, which I'll be focusing on after the industry day in terms of coming back to those assumptions mapping, and we need to kind of see your thinking in there as well. So if you're stuck, just a reminder, if you're stuck with anything, you can grab that Calendly link, you can book a time with myself, and if I can't make it, Pete will step in. There's plenty of options there. We've been doing 3 or 4 now already, so feel free to take advantage of our time as well as your specific mentors. Next session. So tomorrow, as I said, James Carr, he's a lively fella, and I think it'll be a fun exercise, but very meaningful about what we need to think about heading into Industry Day. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I left one slide off, which is our usual I like, I wish. Again, if there's something new that stuck out for today, let us know, and if on both fronts, whether we should need to improve something or if you know, something you want us to amplify. Appreciate it, and see you tomorrow.
Whereabouts is tomorrow?
Tomorrow, good question. Tomorrow is level 4 in the maker space, which will be where you had your photos.
Yeah.
Cool. Bob. All good. Thanks, Peter.
My mentor thought like it is good idea to reach people from city council. So like
Just have to stop recording.
Yeah.